Okay, let's unpack this. We are diving deep into image SEO today, and specifically focusing on alt text. You know, the thing most of us kind of treat like decoration, just something we slap on a page.
Right, an afterthought. But our sources, and we're talking Google Docs, accessibility experts, the works, they're pretty clear. Stop doing that. Images are strategic. Huge potential if you build them for users first.
Yeah, and that really circles back to that old SEO principle, doesn't it? What's good for the user?
It's eventually good for Google.
Yeah.
Exactly. And alt text, it's fundamental. It signals accessibility, sure, but also just basic site quality.
And the accessibility angle isn't just like a checkbox. The human stakes are serious. Our sources point out over 7 million people in the U.S. have some visual acuity loss. Over 1 million are blind.
Yeah, it's not theoretical at all. There was this one really powerful anecdote in the materials. Someone's father actually cried using a site because the lack of accessibility basically felt like being told, you aren't welcome here. It's heartbreaking.
Wow. Okay, so our text. Let's define it simply.
Sure. It's just that HTML attribute, right? Inside the MJ tag.
Yeah.
It gives a text description if you can't see the image. Maybe you're using a screen reader, maybe your connection is slow, maybe images are turned off. It steps in.
And it's not optional for many images, legally speaking.
Not at all. If an image isn't purely decorative, leaving out that text equivalent, that's a priority 1 WTCAG error. Big deal. Fails compliance with US Section 508 UK DDA recommendations. It's serious stuff.
And Google's definitely paying attention. They aren't exactly hiding it.
Nope. Matt Cutts, former Google engineer, said way back in 2007, add the alt tag. Helps accessibility, helps us understand the image, pretty clear.
And John Mueller confirmed it again more recently, didn't he? 2017.
Yep. Said alt text is indexed. It counts as part of the on-page text, provides context. For humans, for bots, everyone.
Okay, so we've got the why human need legal, Google's watching.
Yeah.
How do we actually write good alt text? What's the core advice?
There's this one piece of advice that cuts through the noise, I think. They call it the phone call test.
Phone call test.
Yeah, just imagine you have to read the whole web page out loud over the phone to someone who needs to get it. Whatever you'd naturally say to describe that picture in that context, that's your alt text.
Ah, I like that. Simple. Makes it about communication, not just keywords.
Exactly. It has to be descriptive, concise, and aware of the context on the page.
But descriptive and concise.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like, well, a bit of a balancing act.
Yeah.
There are character limits, right? I saw something about 80 characters.
Yeah, that comes from accessibility expert Jean Spellman. Her point is, screen reader users have to listen to everything. Long descriptions get tedious fast. You have to plow through it, as she put it.
Right. Respect the user's time.
Exactly. Now, technically, some software like JJWS might read more, maybe up to 125 characters before it cuts off or gets weird, but aiming for that sweet spot, maybe around 80 to 100, maybe 125 max, is generally best practice for experience. Keep it tight.
And I saw a great pro tip, end the alt text with a period.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Small detail, big impact. The screen reader sees the period, pauses slightly, as like you would naturally when reading, makes the audio flow much better between the image description and the text that follows.
Nice. Okay, and specificity matters too. Google's own examples show this, right? Don't just say,
Alt puppy. Way too vague.
you want something like,
Alt. Dalmatian puppy playing fetch. Gives you breed, action, much better context for everyone, including Google.
so let's list the big don'ts, common mistakes people make.
Okay, number 1, never start with image of or picture of.
Redundant, right. The screen reader already says it's a graphic.
Totally redundant waste characters. Second, keyword stuffing. Obvious, maybe, but people still do it. Google Search Central is explicit. Alt, red shoes, trainers, running shoes, buy shoes, cheap shoes. That's spam. Bad UX. Don't do it. Focus on useful info.
And using the file name, like img4881.jpg.
Never. Zero value. Just noise for a screen reader user.
Yeah, last one. Avoid all CCAP BS.
Yeah, it can be harder to read for some, plus screen readers might read it as an acronym, which is just confusing.
It really comes down to finding that Goldilocks description, doesn't it? Like the waffle example in the source.
Exactly. Not just waffles. Too short.
And not the super long description about 17 waffle squares and 2 specific strawberries.
Way too wordy. The sweet spot. A stack of waffles on a plate with strawberries. Perfect. Descriptive, concise, contextually relevant.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered the human side, the accessibility. Let's pivot to SEO strategy. How does this actually help you rank?
it's a ranking signal, maybe a lighter one compared to, say, links or main content, but it's definitely there. It helps Google understand topical relevance, especially important for Google image search, obviously, but also for long-tail queries on the main search results page.
And there was that interesting historical detail about the 16-word count.
Ah, yeah. Sources mentioned testing done over several years, like 2011 to 2018. It consistently suggested Google search was primarily counting the first, maybe 16 words of alt text for page ranking.
16 words, that's specific. Is that still gospel, you think?
Well, algorithms change constantly, right?
Hmm.
But the principle holds. Get the important stuff in early, be descriptive upfront, and remember, for Google image search, the threshold seemed much higher, maybe up to 50 words. So you definitely have room for a good description and relevant keywords.
So it's not about stuffing the main keyword, but using the image to broaden the topic, like using related terms.
Exactly. Secondary keywords, LSI keywords, whatever you want to call them. The related concepts. Images are perfect for this. Build out that semantic map.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Let's say your page is about home workouts. You've got a picture of someone doing push-ups. Instead of just alt man doing push-ups, maybe alt. A man performing a bodyweight exercise for chest strength at home.
Ah, okay. So you've got bodyweight exercise, chest strength at home, all related, all natural.
Precisely. Enriches the context without sounding forced. And this is huge for long-tail searches, especially e-commerce and local.
Right. Those hyper-specific searches often show high buying intent.
Definitely. So for an online shoe store, don't use shoes.jpg. Bad. Use a file name like Brooks Adrenaline GTS-22-women's-blue.jpg. Then your alt text can be super specific. Alt. A pair of women's Brooks Adrenaline GTS-22 running shoes for overpronation in a blue colorway. Someone searching that knows exactly what they want.
Okay, and for local, like a contractor.
Same idea.
Yeah.
A builder in, say, Glasgow finishes a kitchen. The alt text could be alt. A modern kitchen renovation with a marble island recently completed for a client in Glasgow's West End. Hits location, type of work, key features.
So to get the most SEO bang for your buck, there's a sort of keyword hierarchy. Where should you focus first?
Yeah, there's a clear order. 1. Image file name. Your first clue to Google. Descriptive, use hyphens. Black leather office-chair.jpg, not img001.jpg.
Hyphens over underscores, noted.
2. Alt text. That's your prime spot for the rich, natural description, blending accessibility, and keywords.
And 3.
Captions and the text around the image. Google looks at the surrounding content to get more context, so make sure the nearby text is relevant too.
Okay, now here's where it gets really interesting, I thought. The stuff from that leaked Google documentation.
Oh, the content warehouse stuff. Yeah, that was fascinating.
It basically confirms that to Google, an image isn't just a picture. It's this complex data object, a whole blueprint.
Exactly. It shows we can't just rely on alt text. The technical foundation matters a lot. Like, you have to use standard HTML.mng or picture tags. Google doesn't index CSS background images, period.
But site speed is paramount here too, right? File formats, compression.
Non-negotiable. Modern formats like WebP, AVIF, SVG, proper compression, responsive images using Stirks. If your images slow down the page, especially on mobile, you're hurting your core web vitals, and that's a known ranking factor.
Okay, but beyond the basics, the leak showed how sophisticated Google's analysis is. Like they can read text in the image.
Optical character recognition, OCR. They have attributes like ochre text boxes that store text found inside the image.
Wow. So that old advice, don't put important text only in images. This is hard proof why.
Absolutely. And get this, quality scoring. Attributes like NEMA AVA and NEMA VQ.
What do those mean?
They're basically algorithmic scores predicting the technical quality and even the aesthetic quality of the photo.
You're kidding. Google judges if your photo is pretty.
Algorithmically speaking, yes. It's proof that higher quality, better looking images tend to rank better, not just wishful thinking.
That's wild. Okay, what about engagement? How does Google know if an image is actually good for a specific search?
They track user interaction. There's a signal called H2C.
H2C.
Stands for hovers to clicks. Measures how often people hover over your image in search results and then actually click through.
Ah, so it's like a measure of attractiveness or relevance for that query.
Exactly. A high H2C is a strong signal that your image is a good match for what people are looking for.
Okay, let's clarify something crucial. Not all images need descriptive alt text, right?
Yeah.
This causes confusion.
Yeah, big point of confusion. You have to distinguish decorative versus functional.
Decorative first, like borders, spacers.
Purely aesthetic stuff. Provides zero information. These must use a null alt attribute. That's alt, empty quotes.
And it has to be null, not just missing. Why?
Because if you just omit the alt attribute entirely, some screen readers might default to reading the file name, like spacer blue dot dot gif, total garbage audio. Alt tells the screen reader, ignore this image completely, intentionally blank.
Gotcha. Okay, so what about functional images? Icons, buttons.
Images that do something. Here, the alt text has to describe the function or the action, not what the image looks like.
Example.
That magnifying glass icon everyone uses for search. The alt text shouldn't be alt magnifying glass, it should be alt search. Describes what clicking it does.
Makes sense. Now, link this to SEO power. What about when the image itself is the link?
Yes. This is super important. When you wrap an image in an anchor tag, a tag that image's alt text becomes the anchor text for the link.
An anchor text is a massive ranking signal.
Huge. So the alt text job completely flips here.
It's not describing the image anymore.
Nope. It's describing the destination of the link. What happens when you click?
Okay, example for that.
Imagine an image of a report cover, and clicking it downloads the PDF report. The alt text shouldn't be alt cover of the 2025 marketing report. It needs to be alt download the 2025 State of Digital Marketing report.
Clear action, clear destination.
Yeah.
Got it. Any confusion with the title attribute here?
Yeah, people mix them up. John Mueller, Barry Schwartz, they've clarified this. Alt describes the image unless it's a link. Title often provides supplementary info like view a larger version, but Google doesn't rely on title for ranking nearly as much as alt. Stick to alt text.
Okay, so let's bring it all together. What's the big takeaway for you listening right now?
I think the core message is stop thinking of image optimization as some separate, tricky SEO task. It's just a natural outcome of building a good, accessible, user-friendly website. Focus on the user, focus on clear communication, focus on performance.
And when you do that, you naturally tick all the boxes Google is looking for with its sophisticated analysis.
Exactly. Quality descriptions, good technicals, it all works together. It's holistic, much more future-proof.
And looking towards that future, AI, visual search, this becomes even more critical, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Think about things like Google's AI overviews or other AI-driven search experiences. They need structured data and context to understand content. If your images are just floating there, technically messy, no descriptions, maybe not even marked up with schema, they're basically invisible to this next wave of search.
So the final thought really is, start treating images like an afterthought. Seriously.
Start treating them as a core part of your content strategy right now. The difference between an image being ignored filler and being a powerful asset. It can literally come down to a few descriptive words in that little alt attribute. It's probably the biggest small change you can make.